All right, KNED listeners, welcome back in. Chase McNutt joining you for another day and for another interview. And this morning, I've got County Commissioner, somebody who's running for County Commissioner, District 3 in Trent Myers. Mr. Myers, how are you doing this morning, man?
I'm fine, Chase. How are you?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day. We're in the summertime now. Can't really complain,
That's right. It's beautiful.
Well, Mr. Myers, I want to ask, how you're doing. Obviously, you've been campaigning a lot. We've got Election Day coming up a week from today, because today's June the 9th, and you've been very busy campaigning. Talk about what that process has kind of been like, as now we're 7 days away from Election Day.
Oh, yeah. Campaigns are always tough. People don't realize how much work goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to be passionate about what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And that's why we do it. I got a lot of respect for anybody that runs for office.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mr. Myers, obviously you are running for office for County Commissioner for District 3. What went into that decision? What kind of made you want to run for office?
Just to make it more efficient. And I've been a public servant all my life. I started out working for the Sheriff's Department, and I moved from there to emergency management. And then I was elected county commissioner for a time, and I've just always felt like I work hard enough to do a good job at it, and that's what it takes, hard work and thinking things through.
Yeah, nose to the grindstone,
That's right.
Yeah. So coming in for this, obviously you said you've had experience before. What are some of the main priorities for you, and maybe some concerns that you've heard while campaigning that you would like to address or would plan to address if you are elected?
Oh, there's several. I mean, of course, we got the tax thing through for the county commissioners, and that started when I was in office, and it actually went into effect after I left. I think they could use that money way more efficiently than what they're using. When we first came up with this idea, I asked the other two commissioners if they would earmark that money just for road materials. And I got outvoted, so they said they could use it for anything. Well, now they're buying all kinds of new equipment and hiring more people, and I just don't feel like we're getting the substructure for roads we need.
Yeah.
I think we're cutting a lot of corners because we're spending it on other things.
Yeah, that's been a very hot button issue, especially in McAlester, not even talking the entirety of Pittsburgh County. But obviously you had the sales tax that went up for a vote a couple months ago that did not pass in terms of, fixing the roads. What would kind of your focus more be on that in terms of, since we're talking about money with roads, what would kind of your thought process be on that to try and get some of that money more spent on the roads?
Well, that's exactly what you have to do, but what a lot of people don't understand is it's not just necessarily road material, it's preparing the base. You got to have a structure for a road. You can't just run across the parking lot and pour a bunch of asphalt on it. I mean, it takes a lot of time. People don't understand. You roll that road and you water it and you roll it and you water it and you roll it until it's ready. And the road will tell you when it's ready. And I've got a lot of experience doing that. And I had a mentor that taught me how to build roads. And that's kind of the problem we have now. These guys don't have a lot of experience at building. I hope to instill that experience in them so when someday I leave after I become commissioner, they can continue on and we'll have good roads all over the county.
Yeah. Well, that leads me perfectly into my next question. And this was something you guys have already been asked before, but your budget philosophy. Obviously, you're going to be handling a lot of money. How do you kind of plan to budget that? And obviously, we've already talked about you plan to use some funds on the roads, but what else would go into that?
Well, the commissioners handle the budget for the whole county, every county office. And I mean, when I say that, it's all offices at the courthouse, it's the emergency management office, the sheriff, all those places. And we need to look at them and try to help them be more efficient. And I think they want to be efficient. They want to serve the people of Pittsburgh County, but I think we can have a hand in helping them to look and see what they can do, and we can save money and have more money to do more things in other places.
Yeah. Well, and then speaking of money, right now, speaking of hot button issues, and especially last night, right now the big thing is the data center in Kiowa and the tax abatement for Pittsburgh County as well. For anybody that is just unaware of what's going on, just in some words, could you kind of explain to some people who are kind of confused or maybe outraged about what's going on?
I don't know if I can.
No, not to put you on the spot. Yeah.
No.
Hey, take your time.
I just don't know if I can do it in a few
That's
words.
fine. Take your time.
Of course, Pittsburgh County has a company called Iron that's moving into Kiowa, or wanting to. They bought property down there. They paid an exorbitant amount of money for the property. I've been told like $32,000 an acre, and they're going to have like 2,000 acres. they're going to build 2 data centers that are going to be one of the 3 largest ones in the United States. And it's all about doing AI, and I think they've got contracts with maybe Google and some of those places. And they put together a TIF board, they call it. The commissioners haven't put together a TIF board, which talks about tax abatement, which means basically a discount on their taxes.
Yeah.
And they've offered them 85% tax break for 25 years. And there are several issues people are concerned about, including me. Number one, why do they get an 85% tax break on their property taxes when, myself included, taxes I pay every year and they go up every year? And we found out last night through one of the gentlemen speaking, if we give them an 85% tax break for the 25 years, we're basically giving away $1 billion. And that's with a B, a lot of money. Now, I don't know if we can stop the data center from coming in. There's lots of other issues that go along with it, environmental and people living next to it. It's right next to the school. And they've offered up front money for the county, the Kiowa School, library, VOTEC. There may be 1 or 2 more. But the money they're offering is just a drop in the bucket to what if you had 0 tax abatement.
Yeah.
And I actually got up and asked Iron last night if that was like chiseled in stone. Is that like, if we don't do that, are you not going to build it? Well, I never could get an answer out of them. And I noticed last night they didn't really answer a lot of the questions. They just kind of skirted around it. You know, they come up first, told us how wonderful it would be, how much money. And they did point out a fact that they were going to inject way more tax money than what we normally collect as a county. But it's just like, I negotiate with oil field companies all the time. They always come in and try to lowball you. You know, they'll offer you an X amount of money to put, for instance, a compressor station on you. And then you come back and say, no, you know, I have to have this much. And usually you negotiate somewhere in the middle, or you just tell them go somewhere else. So that's kind of the way that deal works. And what really bothered me about that deal last night is the attorney the county has is hired by the county but paid by the data center. So is he really working for the county, or is he really working for the data center?
Yeah.
I mean, those are all questions that need to be answered. And the other deal is the TIF board only has 1 commissioner on it. And from the time they receive the proposal from the TIF board about the tax abatement, it's only going to be about 8 weeks till the vote. And this is a big deal. It's got lots of language in it, and I just feel like they don't have enough information to make an informed decision. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have enough information if I was in there. And as it stood right now, if I was in there, I would vote no, just because I don't want to do something to get the county in the bind.
Yeah.
They don't have to vote on it on the 22nd when it comes up for vote. And I'm hoping that's what happens.
Well, that kind of also leads me perfectly into my next question as well. Obviously, this is the big thing right now, especially in Pittsburgh County. But for someone like you who's seeking election here, what are some of your plans with this data center, with IREN, to maybe find out some more information, get some more transparency, and make sure the right decision is made for the citizens of Pittsburgh County?
Well, I would love to do that. But the problem is, if next Tuesday I win the election, I don't take office till January.
Till January, yeah.
So this thing will be over. I mean, I can say all day what I would do or I'd like to do, but this thing would be over. But as it stands right now, I would be dead against it. I mean, I'm really not that crazy about them bringing those data centers into Pittsburgh County. I just think, you know, I look at it like everybody in Pittsburgh County is my neighbor, even though they're not in my district. And we've got people, they're going to build that thing right next to them. And they are, I've talked to a lot of people that live within a mile or so. And plus it's right next to that school. And there's lots of concerns. I think this company come in here, you know, throwing out $1 million offers, let me say millions dollar offers. And it looked like a lot of money, but in the big picture, they're not looking at what they're giving up.
And one of the things I think they were trying to advertise, as you mentioned, the money coming in is just, again, as you talk about, probably just not enough for what the fallout could be. And they're talking about jobs coming in as well. Do you feel like maybe it's lip service a little bit, or how do you kind of view those points from Iran specifically?
Oh, I really do, because if you read the recommendation, I don't know what they call that, for the county commissioners to vote on, the only thing chiseled in stone in that thing is the point that they're going to get an 85% tax break. Everything else it talks about, like, helping community services, we could possibly give them this much, or the county could possibly get this much over here, or if this happens, this could possibly happen. And like they talk about the water sources, and, they made the statement on there that could probably use as much water as 5 households. Well, I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I just really don't believe those facts are correct. But if they're so sure about that, why don't they write that out? They will put so much money in community services. They will put so much money in the county, period. Not, and the other deal, it's the tax abatement is based on electricity they use, which I cannot fathom how they work that out, because I wish I could pay my taxes on how much electricity I use.
I think everybody would, yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And I think and that's what everybody's upset about. We work hard every day and we pay our taxes, and they come in here and they need to pay their part, just like oil field companies or anybody else.
Well, so Trent, towards this part, we're over about 12 minutes now, so we're getting real towards the end here. Again, we're approaching Election Day, and I know that, as you said, you would not be sworn in if elected until January. So the data center and all the stuff going on, and you say you unfortunately won't be able to have a lot of effect on what happens over this month. So what are some other reasons for somebody that might be undecided between you and your running opponent as to why you feel like you should get that vote, as we are a week away now from the election?
Well, I'm going to protect the county's interests. Just like, this deal, this is probably not the last thing to come down the pike. And
could just be the start.
If it's something that you can't stop, that you want stopped and you can't stop, at least we can get paid the right amount of money.
Yeah.
And negotiate for it. I mean, there's no, like the old saying, throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, you want to get the best deal for your people. You want the economy here to thrive, and you want the people to thrive.
All right. Well, guys, once again, that is Trent Myers, who's running for District 3 County Commissioner here in Pittsburgh County. Mr. Myers, I appreciate you coming in today, and good luck to you in the race and next Tuesday specifically. So. Yeah,
I want everybody to get out and vote. Even if you don't vote for me, get out and vote, but I want your vote next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's very important to get out and vote. I've talked about it with other candidates. Such a small subset of Pittsburgh County has been making the decisions for the entirety of everybody. But it's so important, regardless of who you vote for, just to get out and vote. It's very important.
That's right.
So once again, guys, that was Trent Myers running for County Commissioner here in District 3.